my jams going, listening to some Ice Cube right now. Got my Sam Adams, my Celtics koozie. Thanks as always to Dan Sapphire for filming. A lot of people on the site say he's the main attraction of this show, and I can't deny that. I'm just a bit player in this production. So, before I start, I just want to talk a little bit about the tragedy that happened at the Boston Marathon a couple weeks ago. Very close to my heart. A lot of my family's from Boston. A lot of my friends are from Boston. My grandpa was actually 100 yards away from the blast. Just a terrible tragedy what happened. The Boston Marathon is one of the biggest events in the city during the year. It's the 4th of July in Boston, and what they did is just, I mean, I hope there's a special place in hell for those people, because it's just terrible what they did, the destruction they did. But at the same time, it just shows the resolve of the city. I want to thank all the police, the first responders, everybody that helped that day, the regular civilians helping out. It just shows you that most people in this world are good. They're just a few bad apples, and hopefully they get what they deserve. So let me start with the questions. You guys know how this works. You put in the questions, and I try to answer them best of my ability. First question from Matt McKay, one of our extremely good writers. As I always say, I'm the worst writer on the site. These guys make me look real bad, and that's a good thing. I'm privileged to write for it. Got airplanes as usual. He says, how many 7-year-olds do you think you could take on at once before they overpower me? Probably like 2, honestly. I'm getting old. I don't have much energy. I would just give up. I just don't have the energy to compete anymore. I'm just old. I'm 28 now. I'm going on 48. What can I do? So I would say 2. Sarah Sheldon, my booyah, and one of the greatest women on this planet, asks the next 2 questions. She asks, who is my favorite character in Love Actually? For those of you who don't know, Love Actually is my favorite movie of all time. Maybe second to Forrest Gump. My favorite character has to be the little kid. I mean, the last scene when he's running through the airport to find that girl makes me tear up, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I don't have an ego. It makes me tear up every time I see that scene. To this day, it doesn't matter if it's Christmas, it doesn't matter if it's springtime. That just shows true love, and someday I want to feel that true love. So I would say he's my favorite character. This next question's, I can't really say all of it. It's a little inappropriate. Of course, Sarah wrote it. She says, marry, have relations, kill Bob Seger, Phil Collins, Tupac. I'm gonna say marry all 3 and not respond to the other 2. First of all, I don't think they'd want me sexually. And kill, I mean, I couldn't even touch a hair in their head. They're my idols. I would never hurt them. So I'll marry all of them. When am I moving to Boston? This is Chris Milano. He lives right near the Garden right now. Dan, the cameraman, is shaking his head. Dan, what do you have to say about this?
I think that he can never leave the river, and just gotta stay here in D.C. and Arlington and visit Boston frequently.
It would be hard to leave the river, but I heard the Charles is all right. When am I moving to Boston? It really depends on the job situation, which is TBD. I think eventually I will be up there. I feel like I need to live in that city at some point. I feel like I'm going to meet the girl for me up there because I love Boston. Who is the most important Celtic on the roster? This is from Steve Perry, my buddy from UMass, who currently lives in California. Most important Celtic on the roster right now, this might come as a surprise, Jeff Green. The only way we win this series is Jeff Green. KG and Pierce are obviously the best players, but Jeff Green's going to put us over the top. And if he doesn't come to play tonight, we're not going to win. So I would say Jeff Green. On another note, Jason Terry, what the hell? When did he start sucking? I mean, he can't hit a shot. Like, put me in there. I can hit a 3. You know. What happened to him? I thought he was going to be better than Ray Allen. It's a damn shame. Who would you guess is better at the saxophone, A.C. Earl or Scott Pollard? I actually forgot who A.C. Earl was, so I looked him up, and he's got a sweet haircut, so I would say him. And I have no rationalization for it, but I'd like to see a duel between those two. If I could place, and that was by Mike Saver, who's one of the leads on the site, and obviously a beast. And he loves Dan Sapphire. He says Dan is the bigger attraction on the show, which I actually agree with, let's be honest. I'm just some idiot talking here. If you could place $100 on a battle royale between Tom Heinsohn and Johnny Kerr, would you? First of all, I have no idea who Johnny Kerr is. Second of all, I'd place $100 on Tommy Heinsohn against anyone. So, Tommy Heinsohn. And I don't even know why that was asked. Saber, you're better. This is a good one from Michael Dyer, another incredible writer. These guys are just so good. I don't know why they're not like on Yahoo. Celtics Life is the best site anyways, but these guys are incredible. He says, what is the worst move by Ainge in the KG era? I would have to say DeAndre Jordan, and passing on DeAndre Jordan Chalmers for J.R. Giddens. I was so pissed when they drafted J.R. Giddens. It was the year after the title, and I think they were just giving it away. You can't give away picks in this league. Can you imagine us with DeAndre Jordan right now? Or Chalmers? We would beat the Knicks. There's other bad deals. We didn't pick up Kenyon Martin this year. Obviously, that would have been huge because we can't get a rebound to save our life. But I think that's one of them. Kurt's taking me away right now. All right. This is a good one. Now, I'm drinking Sam Adams right now, which is the best beer on the planet. Terry P., my drinking buddy, asks, if I had to pick between Keystone or Natty Ice, what would I choose? Natty Ice is the worst beer of all time. Keystone Light's not good at all, but I would have to go with Keystone Light. Natty Ice is just... Who made that up? They're a completely human being. So, definitely that. When do we get to see Dan Sapphire on the camera? Dan, what is your answer to that?
I'll probably be making some guest appearances in future episodes, but okay. I'll ask a question in this one and let the star have it.
Okay. Well, I'm just a secondary player. And the last question is Ed Pinckney or Joe Klein? Got to go with Pinckney. What he did in the Final Four, that's legendary against Georgetown. Joe Klein's a beast, though. I don't know that much about these two, but I would have to say Pinckney. Last question, actually, today is from Dan Sapphire. So what do you got for me, Dan?
If this wonderful series that the C's are involved in goes to 7 games, who's going to be the hero? Who's going to step up for the? Who's going to take that last shot to win against the Knicks here? Tough team.
You know, the obvious answer would be Paul Pierce, but like I said before, Jeff Green. Jeff Green, when he puts his mind to it, arguably, he's probably more talented than Paul Pierce at this point in his career. I love Paul Pierce, one of my favorite players of all time. Jeff Green, we saw what he can do. It's his time to shine. It's Jeff Green, Game 7. God, I hope we see a Game 7. There's no Game 7 if we don't win tonight, so let's win this tonight. I want to go out with a song here. Bear with me.
By the way, Mike Saver rocks, especially when I get that Grand Theft Rondo shirt in double X.
When does Dan get the Grand Theft Rondo shirt? This is one of the classic jams from the 90s. All right, I'm out, guys. Keep filming, though.